this way? Oh, well, I have stuff to show you anyway, so I'll just take it off. How's it going? So, I just wanted to touch base with you all. And I was going to try to have this held still, but it just isn't going to really work that way, but that's okay. So everybody's been nice and bearing with me. How's everybody? Hey, July. So that was an awesome chat. I was just in the chat with Dolly Daydream. Still waking up, still on my first cup of coffee. So good morning, everybody. But something just kept telling me to like go live, go live, go live. So I've been taking a few notes over the past couple of days, and just thought I wanted to kind of touch base with everybody and see how everybody is doing. So where should we start? Had an inspirational video, and I think that what I'm trying to do on this channel is bring some of these ideas together and merge them for myself, first and foremost, and for as many people as possible, because we are writing the rest of the book, and there is a collective truth that we all share, and it's important that we get on the same page with some of these things and not have such a huge separation with ideas such as the rapture is a good one. And I'm going to show a video that really inspired me. And I don't know how some are going to take, but it's beautiful. Let me just start with that. And what I want to say to keep in mind while we kind of look at this is that I see these things coming this way and merging with our reality. I literally see these things very vaguely. You know, I don't know how much we're supposed to understand and see at this point, but I know that we're supposed to have glimpses of what the possibilities are. And so that's kind of what I'm bringing today. And when this beautiful, so I brought tears to my eyes, but it's just, you know, and I watched it with my son this morning, and he agreed. I mean, it's really, this can be reality. So I'm going to go ahead and play. Yeah, this is Genevieve, and she speaks, it looks like she's been speaking for a couple of years on the concept of rapture and what it means and messages that she was given her. And let's listen to what she has to say.
25th April 2019. And without further ado, we can share with you what the Lord
Can you hear it?
And I believe the Lord gives us visions, dreams, and messages to share, not to keep it to ourselves. So take it away. So tell everyone exactly what happened, what you told Mommy, and look at the camera the whole time with a nice loud voice, baby.
And my vision was about me, Mommy, and Savannah, my sister. We were in heaven, and there was a lot of big mansions. There was sparkly. There was like waterfalls and pools in each mansion. And then there was a lot of people, and they were wearing like white clothes. And then and there was a lot of
pets. You saw lots of pets.
Yeah.
Wow. How like?
So yes, the golden cities, Dee. So I actually see shapes and images just vaguely, like wisps of these things kind of coming into our reality.
And lots of people
And I think it's
That was
beautiful.
confirmation that our pets do go in the rapture. We've got 2 budgies. Tell me
And
what our
see,
budgies
what I
do.
would love for all of us to understand is that this is possibly because the messages that I'm getting is that everything is merging with everything. And I know that it's also written, you know, that heaven will descend from the clouds onto earth. And I've just known for a long time that, you know, I mean, it's the kingdom of God, the throne of God, like all of that, the higher entity that is all of us combined, or at least the ones right underneath that. You know, I mean, there's 13 physical dimensions that we are going to be able to experience, and beings at all of those levels, and we've only been at the lower levels. So this is how, you know, and it's because of the magnetosphere that's in place. I am starting to get a much clearer picture on what it all means, but just kind of some of the general understandings is that, you know, we were cut off from our electrical source. So this is how it's an electromagnetic shift, and it's going to allow all, you know, and at the same time it's a different cycle because everything's merging with everything. So I'm going to continue. Good morning.
And sea breeze.
Ocean and sea breeze. And
And the nickname is seaweed
and birdie. And I've even had visions of our birds flying up to heaven when the rapture takes place, and many of you have had as well. You know, pets are part of the family, so I believe that God won't leave our pets behind. So that's
Well, nobody's going to be left behind, and that's the beautiful thing. I think what's going to start happening is that you won't be able to not vibe at a higher frequency. I believe that's what 5G and all of this, 6G is coming. Well, 6G is so obscure because it's actually Jupiter, our own personal sovereign resonance, self-creating fields of energy that we are. Okay, so that's what's coming back, and it's amazing. And yeah, just we'll have our electrical source back, and Dolly's been talking about it a lot. All of us have. I don't know if I'm supposed to mention this. It's a little early, but Tony T. Taylor channel, Crystalline DNA, just sent me some amazing footage of how her process has advanced, and the actual physical, like visible proof that you yourself can see on yourself. So I'm going to have to get a charger, which is one thing I did forget. But that's okay. I will in just a second. Try not to forget. So it is 1 second. Thanks, guys. Everybody get in chat? All right, much love, everybody. I'll be right back. Gonna get my coffee. All right, beautiful. Thank you. Okay, so where was I? Basically, so Tony sent me some amazing footage, documentation of just the advancement of her process. And I believe, what my contribution to some of this crystalline DNA and trying to understand it, my input is that this is very much electrical, as I was just explaining, getting our sovereign electrical creator friendly system back. And that goes for the Jupiter matrix. And a lot of people immediately are like, oh, I don't want to live in a matrix. Well, there's more to come. So just keep an open mind. I mean, we are human, we are in the physical, and we can continue to ascend. So we're just taking these bodies with us to, we're becoming 10th dimensional beings, is the message that I get in Gematria and confirmed through many others, so on and so forth. So I can't wait for you all to see some of that. And so, just stay close. And we don't really know how many people are watching. We don't really know what everybody's saying. We would love to, I'm speaking for myself, but I know just in speaking to some of you that, we're out there, Dolly, all the time. Like they're not sending our notifications out and stuff. And it might do, I wouldn't say that it's damaging because we are driven by something a lot bigger than any of that. And yeah, just stay open about it because I personally think that like 5G is the resonance of the gods and us. And I do believe the ancient ones are up there. And I do believe that they're merging with us as we call them closer. So I think that's what she's talking about. And I would love to have the whole Christian view, because I think that some of these fires, these holy fires, are taking place. And I'm not sure how widespread that understanding is, but I see that, a lot of people already just innately know the truth. They know that the ley lines are being freed up. Where 8 ley lines meet, golden cities are born. So this is what's happening. It's already been mentioned in chat when I did look. Golden cities are actually being brought down. We're anchoring them in. We're anchoring it in divine time, in co-creation with the Holy Spirit, with the Father, with all of it. So it's really amazing. With the all. This is our reconnection to the all. And oh my God. Here we go. No, the D-Wave computer is actually what actually projects Saturn's matrix. It is a portal to Hades, but that's being cut off. And as soon as that happens, Satan is done. So that's in the process. That's in the works of actually happening right now. So is it really, Brian? It's kind of a spitting image of me when I was little. And she looks a lot like my baby too, my son. He's light-skinned. I don't know, I've shown videos and he's done similar things that I've made videos of before where he describes New Earth. And if I can find that, I'll play that for you soon if you can go back and look on my channel. But yeah, she's right, these are the prophets. They came in with their crystalline DNA intact. These holy fires are not burning children, women, the innocent, the people that don't know, the non-believers. It's better to believe, sure, to at least keep an open mind. I see a lot of that right now, and I think it's beautiful. And these holy fires are not burning. They're only burning the most wicked. This is to get, maybe even all of this might be happening in the ether, and that's something that I'm trying to tie together too, but the ether is merging with us. So this is all manifesting. And anyway, I'm not going to have a conversation about 5G, and I'm sharing with you my insights. So yeah, don't spread any doom. Like even just the words are spells. So I don't know what moderators I have in here. Hey, Kitten, you're so amazing. Seriously, anything that looks like word spells, I'm just going to remove. And if you see your comment removed, then you know that that might be detrimental to your psyche to be even using that in your fields. And so I'd rather not put it in a whole shit ton of people's fields, you know? Yeah, no, I'm serious though, because I'm sharing with you like the hope and the beauty that's arriving, and we can't just ignore it anymore. Yeah, so I just, I don't like the word spells personally. That's just my thing. Hi, Safety Slave. Good to see you. It's not any personal attack, and that is something that I am noticing a lot, that, people think that I am coming up against them. And that is just another level of cognitive, not anybody in chat, because I know exactly, like Casey, you have some amazing stuff to say. Sometimes it doesn't even show up on the actual YouTube page because they're so running the narrative. They only want word spells out there. And we have to change the algorithm because algorithm rules the world. That's why you see hundreds of thousands of people watching these videos that are complete nonsense. I mean, literally. So anyway, this is not nonsense, and it's beautiful, and it's hope, and yeah, that's possible. I agree with that, Anonymous. I don't know about hurt, but the Schumann's resonance, it's bringing us all together as more of the Christ singularity, so that we don't need systems and we don't need money. We can be sovereign. We have to understand what these things mean. Immediately people jump to like, well, I don't want to be ruled. And, for me, yeah, it's like liberty, give me liberty or give me death, straight up. And we're being given our liberty back. So, alleluia.
Nice and loud.
And we were walking to the throne room, and Jesus was sitting down on his throne, and the horses were next to him.
Horses?
He was
You
smiling.
have horses next to him, yeah?
He was smiling, and he was calling out people's names so they could go to their mansions.
Wow.
So they could go to their mansions.
And there was a backyard there, and there was a lot of animals.
So Jesus had a backyard in heaven with lots of animals, yeah? What kind of animals did you see?
Lions, tigers, cheetahs, jaguars.
All the Lyrians. How cute is that?
Backyard in heaven with lots of
I have
animals.
so many
What
images.
kind of animals did you see?
Lions, tigers, cheetahs, jaguars.
Wow.
No, that's
Yes, Fox Mama, I agree.
The lions and the tigers? No? What? Why?
Oh, wow. Interesting, champ. Thank you for letting me know. You do good work,
So in heaven there's no such thing
John.
as being afraid. Wow. And God's animals in heaven, we're going to be able to even play with the lions and the tigers. Hey, we won't be have to be scared of them. Okay, so keep sharing. So what were you up to? And you said that you saw Jesus sitting on the throne and he was smiling at everybody. What was he wearing?
He was wearing white shirts like everyone and a yellow sash.
So a white and a yellow sash, yeah. And what did his face look like?
He was smiling
Nice and
and
round.
with the dark brown eyes.
Yeah.
And then his hair was like.
But I don't know. I don't know how much of like an event horizon all at once and all in a day. I do think that will take place, but I think that it will merge with us as we call it. I don't think there's any need for an alarm. I definitely am into watching for, obviously, I have a whole channel surrounding watching for Christ's return. I mean, I think that I'm documenting the whole thing. But now I'm realizing that as we each wake up, we each call it in. And so now more and more people, and I think that's inevitable because of Sirius, the blue sun, the spiritual sun that does come around, well, that's the Holy Spirit. That might even be the Aurora. I don't know, but I've been looking into Goddess Aurora, and that's been amazing. And so I think, we're just all merging, and it's all good. Yes.
Yeah.
went up to
Wow.
there.
And what was his face like? Describe his face.
It was like,
Really beautiful face.
Yeah.
A beautiful smile, yeah. And he was smiling at everyone. So he was like happy to see everyone in heaven, yeah? Praise God. And you said he was calling people's names out. You said people were waiting for their names to be called out, yeah? And what happened when he called their names out?
then they were going to the mansions.
They were able to go and see their mansions. And remember you shared with Mommy that
You know, and it says, and I get messages that they are coming, he is coming, there are like higher entities coming, and they'll have their gifts with them. I mean, I think that we are calling it. It is our higher selves. I mean, I'm just trying to merge it all together here because that's what I see. I see it happening. And I see the longer we keep the separation ideas and we stay in those like stringent boxes, then, you know, the longer, I don't know, the less clarity we're going to have. And, you know, still will be in divine timing.
you saw writing on the mansions. Explain to people what you saw on the mansions.
It was people's names and it was in fancy writing for the
Aw.
mansions.
In fancy writing for the mansion. So she saw on each mansion there were names that belonged to so the mansion that belonged to you had your name on it, and it was really fancy writing.
Yeah, saved or
And
slaved, it
what else
keeps
did you
getting
share?
better. And see, now we're finding out that all of that turmoil was because he puts the ones that he chooses in the furnace, and he, she, whatever, you know. And I'm starting to understand this on a much deeper level, so I'm not into that thought of guilt or, you know, sin. You know, I'm realizing that sin is just 100% not realizing, just forgetting that somebody else is just you in a different body with a different set of circumstances, and just forgetting that we have the same feelings and the same desires inside, and we all desire for peace and relief and whatever, you know. And so that's where people like do this whole vigilante thing, like, well, I don't need any saving and I don't want anybody like, calm down, like, let's just look at what's really happening, because you're creating that. We're writing the rest of the book before this gets here, so it's totally up to us. But that's not anything anybody else is going to tell you. That's why I have to get on here and at least share my perspective, so that other people, you know, feel validated, or they feel they have their own understandings, or they, you know, we all meet up with each other, and we're all like activating each other, you know.
Oh, the streets, you said you spoke about the
The
streets?
streets are made out of gold.
So the streets are made out of
I love your
gold.
videos,
Standing
Fox
gold on
Mama.
the
I've
roads,
seen them.
yeah?
They're good.
And explain to them
Hi,
what you said to
Karen.
Mommy about
Lisa.
pretty gardens and waterfalls.
Sin, well, it's like the golden rule was a little bit twisted, but just the little finest like rearranging of words. And I'm no expert, but I can't wait to start understanding these things more. You know, the etymology, the way that things were translated, the way things are inverse. And sometimes they're the opposite of the opposite of the opposite. You know, it's really kind of twisted around. So, and that goes for anything in any programming that we are subject to from the moment we're born. And it just continues, and, you know, we get deeper and deeper and deeper into it inevitably. And so we are innocent victims at some levels, and we have been woken up by higher entities that are here to help us, you know, to help us do it ourselves. And that's something I wanted to tie together as well. Things like the Q movement. I'm in the gematria calculator, as many of you know, most of the day sometimes. And when I have a chance, you know, like my downtime is to like sit down and do a code really quick. And I'm documenting it. Like, I'd love to put it all in a book sooner than later. And what was I thinking? Q, because I know Miss Q loves this subject, and I think that Miss Q understands it very, very well. And I have a lot of notes on it, so I'll see if I can pull up a few. Maybe I'll do a more organized, together thoughts talk on that. But what I'm seeing is that, Q is us in the future, exactly what I'm saying, the higher entities, all of the interdimensional travelers that have come in, all of the souls that, not are being recycled, but that are coming in to wake us up and to set the groundwork for this is eternal life. This isn't just like a new world and this is like going into heaven, and that's another reason I'm showing this little girl. So we're all going to be together again, I believe, and I think that that's how, what she's saying, that'll be the beginning of it. And I think that the possibilities, those mansions, are not just individual places, and I would love to understand how that takes place. But they're also they're endless dimensions and possibilities, and it's a really beautiful thing. It's turned from a not pleasant thing, the experience here, and it's turning into what it was intended for. And once we've all had our fill of this beautiful self-creating, never ending, we can just keep ascending into new mansions of the dimensions. And that's how I definitely understand that. And what does she have to say about those mansions?
Can you explain the colors? Yes, share about the colors, the pretty colors that you saw, what the colors were like.
Sparkles. One little dot of one sparkle was all rainbow.
So like the sparkles in heaven was like one sparkle or one glitter was like a rainbow colored, and it would change color, yeah? And what about what you saw on the mansions? You explained the mansion. Explain the mansions to them.
Very glittery.
Very glittery and sparkly, yeah? And you said you saw stuff on the mansion. What did you see on the mansion? You told Mommy you saw pretty things decorated on each people's mansions?
Yeah, like flowers, sparkles.
Hey, Stephanie.
Sparkles. Yeah?
Yeah, that's
Praise.
all of my things.
That's all of your vision. Wow. Glory to God, brothers and sisters. Out of the mouth of...
So cute, right? So let's see if I captured any of that. I've been editing and it's interesting. And let's see what I have so far, because I don't know, stuff's been different lately on YouTube, for sure, but it seems to be getting better as well, right? Like, I love that you guys are here right now, so thank you for being here. This was this is in the evening last night, about right about 6 o'clock. And clearly there's a big ship right next to the sun that's getting more and more apparent, that's coming through the veil more and more. The more we destroy the magnetosphere, they're helping us. That's all I'm saying. So crazy. You can't go live anymore, Amanda? Oh my gosh. Why? That's annoying. But see, people think these are chemtrails, and they're just not chemtrails, and that's why they have the whole confusion set up and the whole confusion campaign out there. These are objects producing like a little vapor. It's a vapor, but it's a God vapor, and it's not here to kill you. It's here to save you. Let's see what I got, because it's so bright, and do you see the saturation of light? But yeah, people think these are like planets and stuff, and they've drawn them and depicted them the way they did because these things have like leopard texture on them. I posted this amazing depiction of who the serpent gods are, really. Not just depiction, but history. And it looked like some pretty good truth in there. There was a little bit of like the dark side of that, but Satan is a dragon cast out of heaven by another dragon, so these things, like, they all do have things in common. So please don't be alarmed when we start to see some really intense, incredible things. I have people that I've had to block, and I know right away, like for months, this person's been waiting to drop this bomb. But it's like, they don't realize that I already had somebody play that narrative on me, that these were demons and that they're going to come and show up in your house and like take you mentally hostage, and it gets all weird. And guys, I have had some strange experiences that have brought me to the truth on the way here. And I see them playing the same script. Like they do have a script. Yes, there is an agenda. And they're tweaking what they put us through, a lot of us here, for the people just waking up. And they're doing the same thing. What was that weird beetle, this kissing bug? That was a narrative back then. C. auris, same thing, like in the same sequence. That fungus is there to eat up the old, it starts the process. You start like erupting in this crazy stuff because it's your human flesh turning into crystalline plasma flesh. So wow, yeah, it gets pretty intense, you know what I mean? But the fungus is actually there to eat up the old so that it can be replaced by the new. And nobody's going to tell you that because they haven't maybe experienced it quite at the level that I had. And, maybe, so I'm here telling that. That is truth that needs to be spread. Yeah, it's just because I personally actually experienced it, literally. And I had a science mind. I was in school in chemistry at the time that actual stuff started happening. So, yeah. I can pretty much back up anything I say, but I just haven't been getting into the details. But T. Taylor does for us. Is that what Red Square told me? No. What's that? Anyway, how is everybody? Han Purple with your own eyes, totally. Hi. So I see like ship parts right here. And I see these a lot. So cool. So very cool. And all the beings just hang out. So cool. Yeah, I wanted to show you a few things, and then I did mention Q for a minute. Let me see if I have anything I wanted to say on that. I said, I believe that Q is our future selves, as well as many of the interdimensional travelers that we just know are Christ figures. We know that these people had been incarnated into our reality to change the way that we think and try to break the mind control we were under. So that's who I believe Q is. I am all of it. That's who it is. It's us, yes, totally. It's us as well. And it's JFK Jr. And it's Tesla. And it's me. And it's Dolly. And it's actual Christ. And it's Sophia. It's the Christ. Q is the Christ. I get the name Quentin a lot. Yeah, I'll just have to do a separate. I just wanted to touch on that. And yeah, the crystalline DNA, back to that, I just had notes to say that is part of the death and rebirth, which I covered. Basically like dying while you are still alive, literally transforming under your nose, okay? So it gets very, very, very intense, but you will survive it. You will live all the way through it, and it definitely gets uncomfortable. But that's why I try to bring hope, and that's why people think that I sound arrogant or like I know or something. Well, I kind of do because I've experienced it firsthand. and I'm able to bring you proof and testimony and everything else. And I'm gonna do that for sure. Seeing a lot of really interesting shapes popping up. This is right next to the sun, right directly next to the sun. And so a serpent will consume the sun and it will start to rise in the west is the messages that I'm getting. So here's the cat she was talking about. Like, these amazing Lyrian beings are up there. She named all of the big cats, and I see cat eyes, I see lion faces, I see the Lion of Judah. Like, that's who a lot of us are, is Q, is a man going through a transformation into an angel of light. We are baby sons. We are literally going through a transformation, like wizards in training, all of that stuff. We're literally in training. So, anyhow, what else did I have written down? Oh, I had a message that skin issues were a big thing. Like I was just mentioning with the fungus, nobody likes to talk about fungus and stuff, but my body started doing weird things that it had never done before. All my pictures look so blurry. This is why I'm not like compelled to get them right to you. So I apologize, but I'm still showing you anyway. But yeah, you're literally like being rebirthed right under your nose while you're still alive so that you can break the cycle. So that's how you transcend death. But they're trying to hide it from you and bring you all these word spells and bring you all this death and scariness. I don't even want to say that, but like anything that has to do with not getting your light body, not growing, not transcending death. They don't want anybody to think along those lines, which is why we're so hidden. Because all it takes is the spark of belief and knowing, and then you've transcended what they are trying to keep you in. There's a Saturn matrix. I believe that it's being sealed. And, you know, like it was said, CERN is shut down. It's being dismantled. We have so many confirmations on every level that the crystalline grid is being anchored in and that the Saturn matrix is basically bound right now. Bound. Satan is totally bound, and yeah, we will see it play out. I do believe that. I do believe that we will see amazing things on a mountain in heaven, and that judgment is raining down from heaven right now, without a doubt. So they don't want you to think along the lines of that fungus on you or like that really weird spot that the doctors don't want to look at and are telling you you're crazy or it's not there or whatever's going on, or telling you that you have the C word and whatnot. Well, I wanted to bring everybody a really amazing cure that's been given to me in the gematria calculator, and it's helping me with some of the like really just very end of my healing. So I believe that those areas are for purging, physically purging some of the stuff that this stuff was in place already. This isn't about chemtrails you've been breathing in. That's what they want you to think. Not at all. This is stuff that's been in place. And vaccines, sure, didn't help, but like we've had those since we were children. They've been doing this for 30 years plus. So, well, they've been doing it for thousands, like Dolly said, today, centuries and really 5,000 years. So that's when human history was really hidden. It's like 5,000 years ago. And some of the stuff bringing you is that information. But so I had a message saying that, this person was going to a specialist at Johns Hopkins and that they were telling them that this was like, they might as well give up, essentially. Like, they've really gotten bad with the script and they are not allowed. And, I think that's because a lot of dark entities are only working through people that have become slaves to the beast system. So, like, they have, we were warned all this time. We knew if we didn't do the work that we would be used. And, but don't worry about those people. Like, I'm not saying all doctors are soulless, because they're not, for sure. And a lot of them are waking up to these truths. They really are. And I'm hearing cool clips of people, truly, the doctors are curious. They don't know. They literally don't know. Yeah, they don't have any idea that what exactly the process is. And so I get really excited when some of us can pull together and remember this stuff, totally remember. But the cure for, according to Ishtar, which is just one name that the Holy Spirit goes by in Gematria, and she signs it Ishtar X, and X is for Christ. So believe it or not, yes, it's technology, yes, it's military looking, but those X's that you see are actual angels, and they are Christ angels, because they're coming right from the throne of heaven, which is next to and around the sun. So, which is what I'm showing you here. So cool. Lots of spheres. I'm not pulling it out as well as I usually have, so I apologize. But the colors and the intensity is different to work with. So it does take me longer, and it's still not really easy to show you what I'm seeing. But look at that beautiful little, and if I change it slightly, that one will go away, but another thing will pop up, So I recommend doing this for yourself. You'll see incredible things. You will. They're aware in the UK. It's difficult to get it out. Oh, thank you. Yeah. And keep your job. Exactly. That's what I'm hearing, that it will put your job right into jeopardy. And so a lot of people don't understand. I see something popping up right here that is really cool. Very rainbow-like, it's like the 7 or 10 or whatever stars around her crown, or whatever it is. But we've been watching these things approaching for a while, or becoming more apparent, whichever one it is. But yeah, boom. Oh God, thank you, Super Muser. Oh my gosh, thank you. The cure from Ishtar is, oh shit, and colloidal silver mixed. That's it. And it's so amazing, and it will just, purify whatever's going on and cause it. Now, I had somebody put colloidal silver. I feel like I was a bit gang stalked when I first started undergoing the process. Like after I had an MRI and just all this crazy stuff was going on. It was really hectic in 2016. And a lot of shit happened all at once. But yeah, I mean, I'd like it internally. But I think that to mix, I had somebody actually put it on my face, and it totally caused major problems. So I remember doing all this research and reading that you don't put it on your skin. But if you literally have a spot, like a really problem spot, that's when you mix it with the, what do you guys call it? And that's what she called it. She called it the name that you guys say in the UK. Baking soda. Shit. Down. See, this is why. And then you rinse it off after a little bit. After it stops bubbling, rinse it off. But I had somebody actually stick colloidal silver on my face all night, one night. And I'm still like, oh my God, I don't know. I think I had implants and crazy shit. But I also think that it's just my system squeezing out any gray matter. Because I think that we're half gray matter, half light body. I think we're squeezing out a lot of the gray matter. But I do think that God created humans, and that we're just getting back to the sovereign selves that we're meant to be. And we can ascend, and we can go back to source, and we can do any of the things that we want to do. Like, I'm not trying to sell anything to anybody. Not at all. Oh, yeah. The ingredients cut out. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Bicarb soda. Thank you. Bicarb soda mixed with colloidal silver. And as you put it on, it just bubbles over like the kind of like peroxide would do, only where it's needed, you know? So yeah, do that a couple times a day. Wow. Yeah, I have seen colloidal silver a lot. I wasn't sure because it was like introducing another metal to my system, but it absolutely is helpful if you are feeling like really rough and you just need to like really just get back into check and put things on hold or slow them down as far as the process goes. A couple drops of colloidal silver a couple times a day will help to give you some of the energy you need. But I would do any of this stuff on and off because I really want my system to do what it's supposed to do. I take Ormus that I happen to get from T. Taylor. That's another thing that's being really hidden that I get messages about every day. So, yeah, tea tree oil is great. And I have a video where I spoke about that stuff. I want to do another one. I've been wanting to like go on camera and speak and do cool stuff like where I talk. Every time I try to, I don't know what it is. So I just like have a panic. And I don't really have that much anxiety. So I apologize. But I will. It's like nothing to do with, I don't know, it just, oh my gosh. It's like a heart attack. Another thing is, I would appreciate if everybody would take whatever truths you're learning and spread them. Even if it's just taking a few minutes a day and going to the channels that you unsubbed and giving somebody some hope with the words. Now, be crafty about your words because, like you're saying, they just hide it. You know, they just take it right off. But every little bit helps. In person, whatever. Just, just get the truth out there. That's what we came to do, was to tell the truth, because the truth wasn't out there. So that's the same thing I saw at one of the fires. I mean, I've shown this. It's the same blue Kachina. It's surrounded by spheres and orbs. It's incredible. And they're just hiding it from everybody. So anyway, oh, hi, Gigi. I've been thinking about you a lot. I actually have my computer right here, and I'm going to do a little bit of work and try to get the email stuff and Skype and a few other things straightened out so that I can bring you a little bit more quality. Unfortunately, this does not set up for me to do the lives like I wanted to, so this is the best alternative. So thank you for bearing with me. The coloring on my computer on YouTube is like super compromised, so I've tried to reset it many times and I just can't get it worked out. So I guess I just need a new one, apparently. But anyway, what else? Yeah, I've been like blocked from all of those channels, so I would get mad and unsubscribe. And then guess what? I would keep getting the notifications, not because it's something YouTube thought I might like, but because they're sponsored by the people running YouTube and censoring us. So, they're pushed, totally pushed. And so anyway, I got really irritated with seeing that, and I felt like, well, I have to. Now they've blocked me, and they make sure not to give me the updates but I have noticed that a lot of those things have dropped as well. They really have. They've dropped. And yeah, no thanks to you. Yeah, so I'm totally blocked. And I had to think about it. Like, I know I can be obnoxious, and I know that that's what I've had to do. And I know that's going to make people like really irritated with me. But like all of the censorship really forced that. It was just part of the whole psychological game of it for some people, which, you know, they're finding out now that it's not a game. It is obviously, you know, consciousness experiencing divinity in ways that we couldn't quite wrap our heads around, but we'll understand. The confusion will be over soon, and just know that it's really nothing scary. It's beautiful, and we're just being set free. And like, all I see it as, it's desperate attempts from this perceived enemy, this darkness that can't keep existing, and it's just fighting a good fight, and it's on its way out. So it's still good to go and counter bullshit with truth. So, you know, it sends my radars up, and I have to say something. And so now I find myself going to different ones and putting my truth. And some people don't like it. I got a really nasty message the other day about, well, it wasn't nasty. It was put really nice, actually. But the psychology that was interwoven bothered me, I will say, and I had to look at it from a compassionate view, because I was like, wait, I understand where some of these individuals are coming from, actually, because I was once there, and I defended, I don't want to use names, long ago, a couple years ago, when I first woke up, and they had me raptured into the Saturn matrix, and they had me going down those rabbit holes, but in the directions they wanted me, no truth really sprinkled in, and that's where they're fucking up. I finally just, like, thank God, broke out of it. But yeah, they had me like going down and defending some of these devils. And so I understand, you know, you think you found truth and you think it's beautiful and you're so grateful that they've woken you up. And I'm sorry, but a lot of these channels play on that, and they say, well, it's all part of waking up. The fear is all part of waking up. And it's like, yeah, but not anymore. It's not anymore. It's not. So, but they're continuing, and that's what's leaving, and they can't keep operating. It won't work. I see so many people becoming wise to all of that. They're all coming wise. I do think it happens to everyone, and I think that's what wakes us up, and we get infuriated, and we go through like the stages, and there's like a disclosure of like there's like a process of spiritual disclosure, and it's individual for everyone. But at the same time, you know, this is what's next to the sun, and it's showing up even more, and there's a lot of people that are going to be scared. And fear is what the plasma, the holy fire, all of that stuff that you see coming down, that I don't know why, but I know that I'm getting messages that the judgment of Christ, people are not going to like this because it's very real, but the etheric from heaven's judgment of Christ that's raining down, it's attracted to fear. It seeks fear out. That is why they are keeping us in fear. So I am still on a mission to get as many people to understand that maybe it's not as scary as we thought. Because, like, then there's a stage where you're like, yeah, it's not that bad. It's not as bad as they say, but it's still really messed up, you know. And the only way to totally stop manifesting that stuff is to just go on a total positive kick for a while. Just rebuke anything of Satan, because speaking Satan's words brings Satan about 100%. You know, and I explained a little bit. I already touched on that, which is awesome. But when I was experiencing the Morgellons narrative, and I was having all of these crazy things happen to my body at 37 years old that had never taken place before, flesh and blood actors were all I could find. And would you know that one of them lived near me and actually just started meeting up with me, and come to find out, like, I think that she was actually a transvestite, but I didn't even know, because, like, I don't know, I'm not saying I'm pure of heart, but I just have been pretty naive for a long time, and very likable, but also very, very mean and very psychologically damaging. And I only hung out with this person a couple of times, but they had one of the biggest Morgellons pages on Facebook at that time. And that's when I started my own, and I was like trying to have my own voice. And that's when I started to be censored. So I think that they've been on to me for a lot longer than I've been on YouTube. And that's why I was censored right away on YouTube. They will do anything to stop somebody from changing their perspective, because that's all it takes. Literally, that's all it takes. But yeah, I was blocked from those channels for talking about crystalline DNA, speaking about who Lucifer really is. That is really, because that's a huge narrative. They want you to think that Lucifer is coming from the sky, and she is, but it's not what you think. And she's just going to coexist with us anyway, so it's not like she's been there a lot longer than we know of. We're just starting to be able to see her, so yeah, I want to just get that out there again. And, you know, but yeah, she was like, she had all these followers and all around the world, but the more I think about it, some of these people I spoke with, I knew that they were bullshitting me then, and it's proven itself now, and I go and I see the same people saying the same things to new people. Well, what do we see happening on YouTube? So yeah, again, just make sure you go and put your truths. You have the truth inside, or at least remind people that they have the truth in their heart, and to not believe the bullshit, to always feel their way through it, or to let it come up so that it can be processed out for good, because it's leaving for good this time, and it is fighting a good fight on the way out, I will say. Yeah, I just wanted to put a few pieces together for the very opposite ways of thinking. You know, some radical Christians versus, well, I don't want to call anyone radical. I'm sorry. You know, people that still don't understand that the Bible was manipulated and that are just doing what they believe is right, but their heart is so blocked that they can't hear what we're saying. You know, I'd like to bring it together with some of the other people that are saying, like, Q is bullshit and nothing's changing and everything's bullshit. I think that we're stepping right into our sovereignty. We just don't have the platforms that we would like, but that's still our higher selves pushing us, pushing us, pushing us. I got messages that, and that's why I haven't really been like, so, like, I am going to try to get on Skype, and, you know, I've even tried to get a hold of MJ, which she's great. All to Love, if you haven't checked her out. Dolly, I think you love her talks. All to Love, she does one almost every day, an energy talk. And they're beautiful. And we've reached out to each other and been blocked also. And several others, I think, have sent me emails, and it's given me a bit of anxiety to go on there and actually try to look for your emails today, but I'm going to do it anyway. And all of you, you know, just, I haven't even wanted to go on. Every time I do, I start to have like a bit of distraction or wanting to not do it. So I'm going to do it. And, but yeah, every time I do, it's like more bullshit, you know? So I did see a couple of messages that are leading me to understand that that is not necessarily the evil forces as much as we think. Some of us are being kept apart by higher beings. But, you know, the time is now, and that's all over. So we are coming together. The gathering is happening. It's all happening like for real up there in the ether, in heaven, as on earth, and it is merging. So I don't know if that's going to happen. I know that this is the last 2 years, the final 2 years of Earth's crystalline ascension, is a message I get all the time. And honestly, I could be here with you guys for a long time going over some of the messages that I've gotten. So I'm going to go for now, and I'll come back soon and we can talk about those messages, and I'll try to have them more organized for you. But I have been organizing them, and it's so cool. It's so cool. And I recommend it. I recommend checking out Gematria, gematrix.com, for anybody. It is manipulated. There might be like 50% truth, but you can recognize the Holy Spirit come through. And even if it's a question in your mind, it's great. Good. Question in your mind. Not a bad thing at all. So, I'm not saying that it's all truth there, but I am saying that I have learned how to discern, through many ways. And as I've been told, I don't need the gematria, but it is confirmation for others and for myself, and a little bit more clarity. So that's a good thing if you're wanting to connect. This is all about a reconnection. So if you're wanting to connect, don't put your name in there, like your first, last name, all that. It's fine if you have, but that's not really what we're after. It's not. I don't recommend it. I have had messages very clearly not to right now because, whatever, they're just trying all kinds of stuff. But I think all of that has ended. All of that. They have no strongholds on. Like Saturn has been closed. Like literally the gates are shut. And there's a lot of people inside there. But we still need to wake people up because they're sleeping and they're innocent. And they need to know. There's many people out there that will hear us. They're very few and far between, but they're out there and they're looking and they can hear us. We need to wake people up. We need to wake our people up. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, the rapture is escaping Saturn. So up in the clouds with them. And I've given different perspectives that I've just gotten on that as well, which are really cool. It means so many different things, but it means all of them. It really does. It means all of them. Unless it's, fear or whatever, then there's probably a lot of truth to that level of understanding of something with multiple meanings. But I'm wondering, I can see heaven descending down to earth. So I believe that many of us are not, I'm not saying that certain people in a certain area are evil, not at all. Although I do think that different regions are different timelines, different areas are different timelines, but that's why we're scattered about, so that we can kind of clean these energies out. We're here to clean the energies out, among other things. And yeah, I love you guys. That's it. I got it this time. Cool. Thank you for being so sweet and awesome. Oh, keep going. I love your thoughts, Mia. So great. So enlightening. That's pretty cool. They're cloaked, and there's that Han purple. It's so intense. So beautiful. Yay, I love you. Alex loves frogs. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. And just let me know, I guess, I don't know, we'll get more organized in the going forward days. Just remember, we have to change the algorithms to work in our favor. Yeah, we are totally writing the rest of the book. So we've got this. We just need to kind of get a grip and realize, well, yeah, those extremes, yes, we are creating our own reality, don't forget, we have a collective reality that is truly one truth. That is what Christ came to teach. He came to bring the good news, which is what I like to try to do. So anybody that says they're Christ-like but is bringing you something that troubles your heart, I don't really believe it. So I call it out, and people don't like it. But I'm going to call it out because, you know, like anybody's salvation is not my business, but you know how we are. We don't think certain ways. Like, we do not think about how we could hurt somebody. We think about how we could not hurt somebody. And like, some people just don't think like us, and it takes us a while to realize that not everybody thinks like we do. So that's what the Schumann resonance is part of, is getting everybody on the same page and kind of vibing the ones that aren't going to get on the same page, vibing them out. And those gates are closed. So we can keep rescuing people as we are called. And yeah, we do it for the sake of humanity and nothing else, I promise. And sometimes I wonder why, but it's because we're each just like one another, just in a different body and a different set of circumstances. And so, yeah, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. It's rainy here in Florida, so I don't know what I'm going to do, but maybe I'll edit some more. Look into Goddess Aurora. I really think that's her. I think she's a giant. And, I don't know. I'll show you my painting that I did next time, inspired by Dolly Daydream. I'll work on that. Yeah, it's raining everywhere, it seems. So I think the 3 days of darkness thing is just really the beginning of the self-sovereign, self-created, sovereign Jupiter energy. And the sun is changing. It's changed course. It's gotten bigger. Oh, I can show you that. Hold on. Yeah. So I believe that this is Jupiter getting bigger, and I just had a message about it. It's huge. Huge. Hi, Robbie. Huge. And they block these. They don't want anyone to see this disc size because it's like shocking. It's like, wait. Keep seeing my rainbow little orb angel. Pretty cool. Yeah, don't forget, it's confusing, but I did put an article out about the history of the serpent gods and the good and bad ones and the very, very good ones. So do take a look. I'll give you the name of it because I don't know how many of you check out my stuff, but I love it. I love when you are able to. Oh yeah, see, they don't let me go back too far. Once or twice it's been like, you can scroll down, but no. 5 likes, that's good. At least a few people saw that, right? Spaceships. Spaceships. Heavenly spheres. How can water bring fire? That was a cool message I got. How can water bring fire? Caves and caverns are the natural places for the energy of the earth to be harvested. We got a few people here, right? So I'll just keep reading for a minute and have a sip of coffee. Hang on. Trying to take advantage when I actually have some people's attention, so I'll say a couple things. All right. So I was saying on Dolly's live stream, the Schumann resonance is high for the past several hours. Well, I'm guessing it is because it's black, right? Like it's a picture of black for the last like 6 or 7 hours. I need to learn how to read this better. I just go with intuition when I look at it because I don't really understand. But holy wow. So I did wake up this morning feeling super rough. Look at that. Right? So I felt pretty rough this morning. But I'm starting to feel better now. I take kratom for pain and discomfort. I was never on opiates, thank God, for, of course, different things like wisdom teeth and afterbirth and things like that, which I always try to extend my my prescriptions to the point of, yeah, like getting kicked out of doctors. So, like, there was no doubt, yeah, that's a whole thing. But I was like an alcoholic and I stopped drinking a little over 5 years ago. Thank God I have no desire. I really do think that alcohol is really, it's spirits because it opens you up to that realm that we are dissipating right now, or that we have good entities coming in. And I thought it was interesting what Dolly said about the aurora being like the fourth dimension, possibly. I don't know why that's coming up because at first I was like, I don't know. That's kind of because I really think that it's Goddess Aurora. I really think that it's the Queen, the Holy Spirit, and it's the ether, and it's the green aurora. Well, it is, but it's all that stuff that we're realizing. So, but yeah, that does make sense too. And so, how it was, because she says that we got her out of chains, we let her out of her chains with our love, and like doing what we're doing right now is love. And that's, what drives us apparently. But I'll be honest, I don't feel that loving all the time. And sometimes I used to wonder, how can I be on the good side? Because, like, I'm such a bitch. But anyway, I take kratom to ease the discomfort. It was something I found shortly after, about a year after I quit drinking. I was looking to be social, but not in the rooms of AA that kind of inevitably that you kind of grow out of, known as a spiritual kindergarten. And I do wonder how much of it is mind control or how much of it, like, was Bill an interdimensional traveler? I think so. I do. I think he was. So, yeah, Bill from AA, I think he was one of these Christed interdimensional travelers. I know. I love you, Dolly. You're amazing. So just so you know, it just pops up once in a while with a comment or two. So I'm not ignoring anybody. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Oh, Rhea. No, thank you. Actually, your channel has documented, like, you're doing the same thing I'm doing, documenting the change in the sun cycle, like the ultimate change, the thing that they're not telling anybody, but that we can see. And we're trying to figure out, that's another thing. We're bringing science and religion together. Obviously, the Holy Grail, bringing anything together, merging any of these ideas is the Holy Grail. So I don't want anyone to think that I'm like going against what you say, and I respect anywhere, like where you're at in your beliefs, I respect that. But I also might be kind of extreme sometimes because I am trying to help you in the same way that I've been helped, which is to be very abrupt about not allowing false ideas into your head anymore. So it's a fine line. How do you go from being open-minded and open-hearted and thinking, on one end of the spectrum, how do you merge those and still be true to yourself and your beliefs and all of that? Well, that's the beauty of it. Like, take everything that's fear and know that that's false, and then the only thing that exists is love, and hold on to that until the fear gets filtered out, because it will 100%. Yeah, the discernment is getting really good. Hang on a second. Okay. And so, a couple messages that are happening like right now, they're super current, and from what I understand, once Saturn has been completely dismantled, I will know. We won't hear it on the news, but I will have a very good inclination because of the messages that I'll be getting. And it's interesting to watch how they come through. But this morning, these are all very current. Sun disk of the crystal vortex. Let's see, what does it say? The sun disk of the crystal vortex is to be activated at Pinnacle Mountain. So where's Pinnacle Mountain, guys? What is that? All greedy, rich antichrists need to be destroyed in the flesh and sent before the throne for judgment. Again, guys, just the messenger. If you listen, you will be able to decide between lie and truth. If the wicked refuse to go to hell, then they will fall to the abyss. All right, I'm just going to take this opportunity to read to you what came through this morning. And again, use your heart to know what's the truth and what's not. I'm not going to read every line. I'm going to read what I think is relevant. And sometimes this stuff brings up things in your mind for you to work through. So it's not necessarily all from the Divine Mother, straight from me to you. Sometimes it's, like it's jogging everybody out of this programming and rewriting the programming is what we're doing. Replacing it with good, positive. Kind of like Bill in AA says, with the religion thing. Like, he's like, I found religion. And that was always a huge thing in AA. Well, he didn't mean religion, he meant spirituality, but that word. So anyway, we all go through that still. And what he did mean is he found his reconnection to source. And that anything became possible and that things started to get better, and basically the 12 steps that we went through for us that have gone through that stuff. I don't even go to meetings anymore, you guys. I don't know why this is coming up. But I don't go to meetings anymore because I did continue with my path, and now I'm just in a different place. I would go to a meeting if I felt the need to, but I am looking into where some of these ideas came from, and it's really interesting. Like, was it mind control, or was it like society control, or was it enlightenment? Was it like a beginning stage? Was it a gift? Was it an interdimensional traveler saying, hey, here's how you can reconnect to God and like escape the hell that you're in? Like, you don't have to live in hell anymore. But yeah, the 12 steps is kind of like what everybody's going through universally now. But we can work it all out with ourselves and our higher selves and each other, and with the transmutation of all the positive energy. We can, we're going through that same process of like renewal and rebirth and transcending and transmuting the things that no longer serve us. Okay, so this is something that I would love to convey to people, and that it's an interesting time right now, being as these things are in the ether, and like you can really only see if you believe, and even still we can't see yet. We can't see yet. Stephanie Allen mentioned that she can see the Han purple with her bare eyes. I'm starting to see the spheres. We're starting to see things for sure. Tony Taylor can see the holographic looking images that are showing up for me now. Let me see if I can show you those. Wow. But anyway, like that stuff showing up for everybody to see. And it's truly amazing, but it does seem as if we're kind of all gradually getting to the same spot. And then it comes a little closer and comes in a little more. So it's been amazing, right? So they say, the thing is, just because we are magic doesn't mean we are not real. And that is something that I understand. I mean, you look up at the clouds and you're like, yeah, whatever. No, that's the throne of God above you. Like, that's literally, I'm not saying bow down, because Christ doesn't want your worship. Obviously, respect and whatnot. And it's all of us in one higher entity. So I think that Archangel Michael is in that blue Sirius right underneath the sun. And Sophia is very, like, we live on Sophia. I was trying to understand, like, is her soul just out and like roaming around right now? But no, I think that's actually the Merkaba. And she's in 4 places at one time. I think that's the Merkaba of Michael the Archangel, Michael Leroy Utley, her right hand, his right hand, the father's right there, Anyway, so it's like, who are all these players, and how can it be that we are the sun, but then the sun's up there, And I try to explain that on my channel, but it is all very inclusive, because they are Christ's. I mean, the Trinity is one thing, but then like all of these interdimensional travelers and us, Q, that is the Christ. That is Sophia incarnated into a person, and she can live all at once. I've shared the story of the egg many, many times, that we're all the same mind, the same being in different forms, and that we experience it all at once, so that one day we can have our own. We are baby sons. 100%. We are baby sons, and that mother sun is a self-creating God technology, you know, computer, but in a very beautiful, sovereign God technology, natural technology way. And, you know, it got usurped by Saturn, Satan, that ugly technological crap reality that we have, congratulations, worked out of existence for us and for so many others. And just keep up the good work, because we are moving fast. We are switching the algorithms to our benefit, or benefit is a bad word, right? Like, I don't like that word. For the highest and greatest good. And we need to keep doing that, keep doing that, keep doing that, because algorithm rules the world. I know there's going to be a couple good messages before I go here in front of me. Oh, yes, the kratom that I was speaking of earlier, I jump all around, but then I saw it go with the flow, so I love you guys. Yeah, I totally jump around today, especially, I told you, especially with the Schumann resonance thing. I think that's what I've identified it as. I'm like, I am in a fog more than usual. Definitely, definitely. But something kept telling me to come on and touch base with you all, and that you guys needed a place to meet up. So, and you know, so that we could keep growing this energy and keep changing the algorithms for the greatest and highest good. So that's why I get kind of icky about word spells, and I get kind of like maybe not so nice about them. So I do respect everybody's insight. I just have to try to transmute some of the word spells that are being used against humanity right now. It's freestyling. I love you, Miss Q. Can't wait to hang out with you guys. Seriously, all of you. Rhea, Sweet C, Miss Q, Dolly, One Hot Minute, Alex, Mia. Oh my gosh, such good people here. Karen, Make It Grow. Amazing people. Amit, Zazaban, David. Oh man, what a great time. So I'll hopefully give you guys a few messages that were coming through for you. And then gematria wise, ugly women. Oh wait, no, that's not. That wasn't a good one. See, then you have lines like this. Ugly women who are not retarded are fine with me. So obviously you use your heart, right? And that could be true. And that makes you think about it. It's like hilarious. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Boom. The power of one has been used to control the primary personality and other alters. That's falling right now, right? We did that. We did that. So we are still making differences. We are. We also have help from the ether and the heavens above. And I believe they're coming to merge with us. So, but yeah, the future belongs to us, right? I laugh a lot in here, you guys. It's so funny. God is so funny. And just like also just to see like that desperate, like perceived enemy stuff that I was talking about leaving, the desperation at this point is kind of hilarious too. The greedy, evil sinners will hand over their wealth to the just. Seen that a lot, put in a lot of different ways. Now, see, here's this. I don't know. This looks like some insight to me, but I still have to decipher what it means. The elect are raptured, the converted, the protected, the martyred. The elect are raptured, the converted, the protected, the martyred. But then I had a message the other day that, like, some of us were one of the first to be raptured. And that getting out of Saturn matrix is rapture. And that I always see all the time messages that I know are speaking from the Holy Spirit, speaking about how they are rapturing people into Saturn matrix. So, yeah, I'll say it again. The elect are raptured, the converted, the protected, the martyred. So, you know, I feel pretty protected. I feel like things are different where I am. I feel like I'm on a timeline where I've escaped some of the I've already gone through my trials and tribulations. And so I think that it is on an individual basis. Maybe when we tip the scales even more, you know, that's when we can bring it in even more, bring heaven to earth even more, and it will be literal, like the ether, like literally merges. But I know Sweet C and I and Dolly Daydream and I were talking last week about, or like around Easter, about the forehead sign. And guess what, guys? Tony Taylor was looking at some stuff. She's like, I see the light language in your forehead right away. And then I put some, which I am sparkling more than ever. And I know everybody is. And I know everybody's starting to. This is for everybody. Big message I get, it's for everybody. But you can see, I put contrast, and you can see an upside down, but like rounded triangle with, looks like mermaid fins. The same fin thing that I'm seeing in the sky, like, oh my God, I can't even explain. Like on the being, the big, huge beast looking being that I'm seeing in the sky, there's like this mermaid, like little, I see it on me in light language. So shit's getting like crazy, awesome, real. And so I think that that's, you know, the forehead sign. She said she has the same one, and a lot of us do. We can't really see it yet just by looking, even looking for it, you know. And that's one of the things she was going to show, some of the different things that we can actually see taking place that weren't like physically possible in our frame of reference ever before. And it's really cool. It's really amazing. And it's something to be celebrated and excited for. Totally, totally exciting. The greedy evils sinner. So yeah, okay. So are we raptured, you know, into the fifth dimension? I believe so. But I do think there will be a day of the Lord where, you know, we collectively get to experience it. God knows the content of my heart and mind. God knows this truth. And just remember, we're experiencing things to bring them back to God, and that nobody is really, ooh, what was it this morning? It's the words are so important. Like I can really change the whole meaning just with the word, with the words. But basically that oh, I don't know, but this is important here. I am the old photograph that puts chills in your spine. I love that one. And it was all one line, all no spaces. When you get lines like that, I don't know, it's just so cool. I am the old photograph that puts chills in your spine. And that just makes me understand me even more, like it's the Kundalini. She is the Kundalini. That's how she's above and below and in 4 different places. And she's Michael, the archangel, flying around, sitting up in that blue sun, I think. Ooh, do you know how easy it is to de-electromagnetize one of your souls A lot of times she's trying to get through to these evil people and give them chance after chance after chance after chance. But she's done giving chances and the gates have been sealed, so it doesn't really matter. For the most wicked. Oh, this was a big one. I wanted to get to Rosie. Jenner, if you're listening, lovely, beautiful, check her channel out. She has the most amazing things to say about what this will look like going forward, and she has a lot of the keys that will help us to start creating it. So she's doing the rituals to change the ley lines from here, you know, on earth, and then yeah, we're getting help from above to change the ley lines. You better believe it. And those two the locations that this is taking place in are locations that Jupiter has temples on. People have been executed and suppressed and oppressed and abused, and atrocities have been happening underground these places for years and eons. So don't let your heart be too upset, because the people aren't burning. The holy fire is not burning anybody undergoing this transformation, for one, or the innocent that don't have any idea what's taking place. That is not what this stage is for. This is God doing this, and it's just not going to look the way that we thought. Guaranteed. Oh, bye, Alex. Thanks for being here. Oh, so yeah, Dolly and Sweet C, see if you're here. Sirius A and Sirius B, wedding. The more you know. So that was a message I got like Monday. So Sirius A, so I constantly am saying it's not Venus, it's Sirius, and that is the morning star, that is Lucifer, that is the Holy Spirit, that is the self-creating system that God created as the Holy Spirit. Yeah. So the marriage, I think, is like, we're the star seeds on earth. Are we A? I don't know. You guys know better than me, but it's been something we should look into. Or are we C? But the marriage, it's talking about that marriage. There's some pretty heavy stuff coming out for me, and I think I'm going to leave it like right here for now until I can understand some of it better. Interesting, though. I'll leave you. This is pretty deep. It's wherever you want to take it from here. Vanuatu, right eye of God. Tahiti, left eye of God. Star Wars, places. Wear more white. I see people in white. I love it. I think I'm going to do that. On and on about twin flames. It's the merge of male. Yep. And it's the merge of us with her. All right. I'm just going to say it because it's pretty big and it came through. And this is why I'm here. So, like, I got a message yesterday that said, be brave. You are a copy of God in a dream. And several that I've had right before this is that the Holy Spirit is walking you through these dreams. And I think that since the marriage, and that also since the marriage has happened, we are all back reunited with her at the moon. And that's the rapture kind of thing too. That has something to do. Anyway, I told you guys. So basically I think that because we're now one with, like, that separation isn't there anymore. It's gone all the way up to our foreheads, and it is still, because all time is happening at once. So it's happening for everybody in a sequence to activate each other. And, I do. Since Easter, it does feel like more, it does feel like I'm connected more. So. Yeah, but who knows? So yeah, she's bringing us through this so that we can bring heaven to earth, and so that we can totally change what this was intended for. And it's a lot. It can be heavy to think about, but we're waking up from that dream. And we're becoming one with God, and we're waking up from that dream now. So there's nothing to fear. Angel of Wisdom soaks in the sunshine and lives by the word. Like, I get so many activations from the sun. So definitely be spending time in the sun. I look at it, I peek at it. A lot of people sun gaze. There's no danger in that. It's an amazing thing to do. Yahweh is divine feminine. So Yahweh has been totally mixed up, turned around, made into the Abrahamic God, this, that, and the other. Words twisted. Satan took two things, Judaism and Christianity, and messed them all up so that, we're in this whatever, or we were kind of like caught up in that duality. And so anyway, getting back to what's real and what's truth, I'm telling you a lot about the Mother, and I'm telling you about the Holy Spirit, and I'm telling you that Yahweh is divine feminine. It doesn't have to be one God. It is all of us, but there is a Christed Sophia. She does have different forms that she can take, one of them being all of us here. Earth turns into a heavenly paradise. Yay, so there we go. That brings it full circle. What I was showing you earlier with the beautiful little one on Genevieve's channel. And what I'm saying might be taking place is, right there for me confirmed when it says Earth turns into a heavenly paradise. How can fire turn into water? Those fires, I did something on the other day, Revelations 22, to explain to you what I am seeing, and that those holy fires and spheres are bringing down the living water to earth and transforming everything. I can't wait to see what happens in the middle of Paris, because I see etheric cities laid down where those fires took place. So I can't wait to see what develops. Heaven is coming to earth. Heaven is coming to earth. We'll see more soon. We'll see a lot more. Yep. Look to your orb for the warning. So obviously that we all have that little angel orb. The true rapture is the breaking out of Saturn. Saved or slave, you got a support system right here. I know they keep us cut off, but keep in mind that it's because, we are still growing to our fullest potential individually before we can completely be free together. Oh, I did see Saturn is the black and white realm, and Jupiter is the rainbow realm. I see Jupiter coming closer, and I see a snake around it. I couldn't really show you what I'm seeing, but I see like that serpent that is spoken about is like maybe it's the 7 sisters. I don't know. Or what is it, 10 or 12 stars that the dragon has on her crown. You guys, it's amazing. I'll try to edit some stuff and just throw it out there later. Just to quickly explain with the videos and why I don't put more out. I love doing it in the format that I do usually. But for some reason, like I can't always with the storage. It's always like one thing or another. When I start to put too many things in one video, the files get really big and they get all messed up and the whole thing gets messed up. So it's like the longer I work on something, the more potential it has to completely disappear or get totally messed up and have me there for another 20 hours working on it. So that's why I've been doing this, which I really enjoy speaking with you all. And I also have been doing a little bit, different style on the videos. So, but I'll still put it out there for you all. Yeah, Paris as above, so below, definitely. But it's like meeting, kind of like what I'm talking about, how it's coming to Earth and merging with it. So that was a merge of the as above, so below. That's a really good point. The thing in Paris was a merge of the as above, so below. And that is what's taking place. The merge. The merge, the merge. Thank you all. Hey, Leland. Glad you're here. I'll speak with you soon, and just keep a lookout for all of us to come out with some cool stuff, because I think a lot of us are getting information coming through, and then we can all compare notes. All right, peace out, guys. Have a great day. 3737. I know, the eye and the egg, Sweet C. More will be revealed. Oh, yeah, and I want to do that too. I want to give symptom support. I really do, because I really help. Like I will say, and I say a lot, to just listen to your intuition about the things that come up and the supplements that you would use. Salt water is great. Colloidal silver, honestly, is really good when your eyes are really bothering you, because it can be pretty intense at some stages. It's like literally fibers and little specks and little weird stuff that you would never think could come out of your eye. It's gross and weird, but it's actually not. While it's happening, it's literally alien technology. The transfiguration of Jesus Christ was alien technology. We are going to live all the way through it, and I can tell you it stops. I have literally, like, my eyes are perfect. I can see so freaking well. It's ridiculous. Like, we definitely had something going on. Well, there was some sort of a rewiring to Saturn that we were born with, but it's being rearranged. So just be patient, and, to spray colloidal silver, and it really does help. I actually, like, when I was really itchy and that was just driving me crazy, actually using like pet shampoo all over in your hair, body, everywhere, gives you relief for a couple days. Like, I only had to do that a couple times, but I was online looking for every remedy, and you see tons of people taking ivermectin, and I don't recommend that stuff. No way, because this is not parasitic. It acts like a parasite. It acts like a fungus. It acts like whatever it has to, in order to do the task of having you die to this world, metaphorically, physically, literally, all of the above, and come back to life, all while living on this earth, transcending the process, transcending death, escaping the cycle. Yeah, the copper is so good, but some of these things definitely can. I wouldn't say copper like kicks it out. I don't want to say that, but some of the supplements, any of them, can cause a purge. Something I used to initially purge when I thought it was like, okay, because it acts like a parasite, you can treat it with natural holistic treatments that are good for things like that. Because it is mimicking those things, and you do, do the fire with fire. You do all of the things that you read about, but not in the extreme ways that you hear people doing them. Turpentine is actually not an extreme way. It sounds like it is, but it's not. Like, you only have to do 1 or 2 of those treatments, and you can get your gut back in order. You can get, Haritaki is another good one. What was I about to say before? Oh yeah, MSM and sulfur together, which I noticed when I was doing this, was while they were taking all this stuff off of the shelves at places like large drugstores, which I guess I won't name, all the way across the board, I watched them take these supplements off the shelves and the pharmacist just be like, oh, I don't know, they just stopped offering it. Or they would literally be like, yeah, what? No, it's on the shelf. And they would go to point it out to me, like, I just got it for someone last week. And they would go bring me over to take me to the MSM. And every fucking brand stopped carrying it. Literally. Yeah. See, Dolly? I mean, it's an ancient remedy that people just like, yeah, we just have no idea. But I do, and I've been trying. So I do want to do some symptom support help. And that is a reason why I think we should all get together. So I am just like toying around with different ideas on how to do that with these weird platforms that we are dealing with and the changes that are taking place. So until then, yeah, DMSO, very good stuff. Water fasting helps. Yeah, any fasting does help for sure. Haritaki really cleared things. Oh, you guys. Okay, listen to this. Another one. Dr. Hulda Clark. When I was like going nuts, you know how they say around the full moon? Well, that doesn't bother me anymore. And I even just got that in a message. Like, the full moon isn't bothering me, making me crazy anymore. It used to be like a problem. So, what I learned to do in the very beginning was Dr. Hulda Clark speaks about these remedies. So, I recommend you research her and also Dr. Jennifer Daniels. They're both on YouTube, but they're old school. Like I feel like they were before the corruption really set in. And yeah, Dr. Hulda Clark. So the 4,000 milligrams of coenzyme Q10, lifesaver, freaking lifesaver. Even just like 2,000 milligrams or whatever I could, like a handful of them. Obviously, use your own judgment. Don't take my protocol and like it's not a protocol that I'm giving. But I will tell you that Dr. Hulda Clark remedy got me through a year of pretty intense, what I thought was torment, but now I understand is probably the most amazing God-given gift that could ever take place. So just get through it and just know that it is totally a gift from God. 100% an upgrade from God, from source. And yeah, but that coenzyme Q10, the amino acids, there's something about the amino acids during this process that just need to be replenished. That's why Ormus is really good, because it naturally has the things that help your body start producing the natural enzymes and all of that you need. So holistic, trusting your body, trusting your intuition, knowing you'll be led. I don't think it's necessary to spend a bunch of money. I did do Rife. You got to be careful of some of the stuff out there right now. And some of the binaural beats, just use your discernment. I did go to a wellness doctor because he only charged $25, and he made me essential oils that helped so much topically, and a drop or two every few days for, a while on and off. Like clove oil obviously really helped. I mean, seriously, I understand the eye thing. I accidentally dropped clove oil in my eye. Never do that. It was a complete accident. And honestly, I'm still recovering. Like, I don't go on camera because I don't like the way and some of this stuff is healing up, but it's getting there. But it's not vanity. It's just whatever. So I'm still healing. And I watched like balls of fibers and crystalline specks and black specks, carbon specks, all kinds of stuff come out of my eye for like 3 days. And it was incredible. Crazy. But so never do that ever. It was like the worst. I was worried, I had to rinse my eye out for like 20 minutes. But the point is, I watched what purged from my eye for like 2-3 days afterwards, and it was insane. And I did feel a lot better once some of that stuff had left. So I think we're, well, I don't think, I know that we're squeezing the gray matter from our bodies. I hope that doesn't bring anything like weird up for anybody, but I think it brings me comfort to know that the Holy Spirit is like, the photonic light is taking over, and that we're becoming one with God the way we were intended, and that we're not cut off from that anymore. CBD, oh my gosh, for your skin, absolutely. And earlier when I said the bicarb soda mixed with colloidal silver, that was a remedy from the Holy Mother that I've gotten over and over, that I tried recently, started trying, and it's really good. Again, I don't like soak topically in colloidal silver. I don't think that that's good. But if you have a real problem spot, or like my subscriber said the other day, like the doctors were giving her like no hope, telling her like to give up, and that was, you know, the worst of the worst, and she might not even want to go through the treatments for it type thing. And it's literally just a boil on her leg, which I bet a lot of people are having right now, which is why they're bringing up the CRS fungus on the nightly news. Well, the CRS fungus is 100% the first stage in this light body process. It's when you have enough love in your heart that you got activated. And I think that, yes, the fear is part of it. It's like after so much fear, we have to run to the love, maybe. I don't know. So everything's playing its part, but there's some weird shit out there, and just get out the truth as much as we can. All right. Thanks for hanging in there.